Matt Bernie, you're taking a look at some stakes action from Gulfstream Park Saturday. Race number 12, 7/8 of a mile on the main track. It is the Grade 2 Princess Rooney for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. Before we dive into the field, head on over to bets.drf.com. All sorts of great deals over there for existing members, new sign-up members, you name it. Bets.drf.com is where you need to go. Let's take a look at the field. Only a field of 7 signed on. There's going to be a heavy favorite in this spot, and to be honest, I think it's going to be difficult to beat her. We'll get to her in a moment, though. The Timeform US pace projector is interesting in this race because I suppose if you wanted to take let's say a curious pace play, the number 1 Razorback Lady might be that for Pat Biancone. Julian Leparoux scheduled to have the mount. This is a horse that most recently was no match for Trenchtown Cap. That was first start off of a little bit of a layoff. Maybe you get a forward move second off the bench. Figures to be forwardly placed. The problem is, even if you're on the lead, you're going to have Stormy Embrace, the number 6, just breathing down your neck for Kathleen O'Connell. Stormy Embrace, what else is there to say? She is an honest mare. I remember going back to this race last year when she went out and won by 6 lengths, and she got some just tremendous speed figure. I said, I know Stormy Embrace. I love her at Tampa. I love her in those little sort of listed stakes races and Florida bred races, and I've never seen her do that. And to be honest, she never really followed that up until she came back in the musical Romance most recently off the layoff, and she just fired a tremendous shot. Highest last out buyer in the field, highest last out raw time form rating, 99 and 118 respectively. The 99 is actually the fastest race she's ever run in her career. So maybe like a fine wine. She's aging very well. It's an instance where from a tactical standpoint, she can go to the lead, she can sit just off, and that's why we started with the 1 horse. I mean, look, if Razorback Lady goes, she has the unenviable task of trying to put away Stormy Embrace and then hold off anybody coming from behind her. I just think she's going to have her work cut out for her. But that blue bar, based on the Timeform US pace projector, perhaps that works out to her advantage. I don't know. I just think it's a tough spot for her to be in. The 2 Trenchtown Cat, again, was the one that defeated the inside runner, Razorback Lady, most recently. Also was the first time Trenchtown Cat tried the main track, and it was a pretty solid effort. 84 buyer. Problem is the 96 Timeform US rating, not fast enough to win in a spot like this. Although I will say, from a running style standpoint, if you believe the 1 and the 6 are going to go, maybe she tucks into that nice sort of pocket trip. She's a 3-year-old taking on elders, 7/8 of a mile. I don't think that'll be a problem for her. Maybe this class is a little bit too tough for her at this point right now, though. The number 3, Royal Asher. This is a horse that, look, a nice blue-collar type. 9 of 28 lifetime, 9 times second or third, has done some good things on the racetrack, comes into this on the heels of 2 blowout victories at a flat mile at Gulfstream by 7 and 7 1/4 lengths respectively. Problem is the numbers just don't necessarily add up to being good enough to run with the likes of Stormy Embrace. But who am I kidding? On paper, this is Stormy Embrace's race to lose. There's really nobody that is in the same sort of ballpark as she is on her best day. Saguaro Row, I think, is intriguing, though. If you are looking for an upset candidate, she's nowhere as far as the pace projector is concerned with a blue bar, which is a little bit of a concern. But when you go through her lifetime record, trained by Mike Stidham, look, she's only really run poor races when they've tried to have her go 2 turns. You look at the 3 times she sprinted, the career debut, and the 2 most recent runs, they're all pretty solid victories. And I don't think there's much really to knock about her. She has rallied off of slow paces in the past. The question now is, can she rally off of a slow pace in which one of those horses getting the jump on her is considerably better than she is? I mean, that's asking a lot, but at the same time, she would be the wild card to me. She'd be the one. If I was going to try to beat Stormy Embrace, it would be with her. Reagan's Rose is the number 5. This is a horse on paper very difficult to make. I do think this is one of those instances, though. You see that she's tried some stakes races in the past. She hasn't hit the board yet. Another instance, keep in mind, for these connections with the fillies and mares, you occasionally have an ulterior motive. Maybe you look over matched on paper. You're not in it to try to win it. You're in it to try to get a piece of this thing. They'll get that valuable stakes black type. We mentioned the 6, Stormy Embrace, a positive formulator fact for Kathleen O'Connell. Past 5 years, dirt, winner last out, second after the layoff, 9 for 29 with a 619 ROI. Interesting, though, 9 for 29 and only 11 of them in the money. That means that only 2 other horses have hit the board if they haven't won. So it kind of feels like an all or nothing formulator fact. Do with that what you will. If you couldn't already tell, I have no interest in trying to beat Stormy Embrace on Saturday. And the outside runner is Weekend Mischief for Juan Alvarado. Second start off the bench, turning back in distance. Always love a good turn back. All 4 wins have come here at Gulfstream Park in her career. The problem is on paper, she's just slow as far as win contenders and win honors are concerned. Should be taken back, try to make that one run. So if I haven't made it clear enough, my selection in the Princess Rooney this year, I'm going to go with the number 6 Stormy Embrace. She just seems to tower over this field on speed figures and on class. I think she can go to the lead if it's given to her. She can sit just off a Razorback Lady if that's how they draw it up. If you were so inclined to try to beat her, I'd be looking at the 4 Saguaro Row from Mike Stidham just because I like what she's done throughout her career. Sprinting. Seems like whenever they keep her at these shorter distances, she's done good things. So 6-4-2 for me in the 12th at Gulfstream Park on Saturday afternoon. Again, if you're playing this race, any of the other races at Gulfstream on Saturday, DRF Bets the way to do it. Take a look at all the latest and greatest that DRF Bets has to offer at bets.drf.com. Scheduled post time. And keep in mind, it's Gulfstream. Scheduled post time. Right around 5:30 Eastern for the Princess Rooney. Good luck.